Despite the fact that my stomach is now flat, I don't have a visible six-pack yet. I mean, I can see, a few of the abs like poking through, like trying to rear their head, but it's nowhere near where I would like it to be at the moment. And this is the reason why. Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Riley and this is Experience Fitness. So I was talking to a friend recently who's been on a weight loss and fitness program for quite some time. He's getting really good results. He is losing body fat. His stomach is getting flatter and flatter, but he still can't see his abs. So he asked me, why can't I see my abs yet if my stomach is actually getting flatter and flatter all the time? So I will be answering that question in today's video. Now, this is a really good question. I'm sure my friend is not the only person to have asked themselves this question. I know personally I've asked myself this question too. Why can I not see my abs if I actually have a flat stomach? So from my own personal experience, when I started my fitness and diet regime back in May, I was overweight. I wasn't obese, but I was overweight. I had a lot of body fat on my abdomen, my upper thighs, my love handles and my buttocks, embarrassingly. But as time has progressed, I've lost a lot of that body fat. My stomach is now flat and it no longer protrudes. If I look at myself sideways in the mirror, my chest actually sticks out further than my stomach. However, despite the fact that my stomach is now flat, I don't have a visible six-pack yet. I mean, I can see, a few of the abs like poking through, like trying to rear their head, but it's nowhere near where I would like it to be at the moment. And this is the reason why. Body fat comes in two types: subcutaneous fat and visceral fat. Now, the word subcutaneous literally means under the skin. So subcutaneous fat is the fat that is directly underneath your skin, the fat that covers up your muscles and particularly your abdominal muscles and stops them from being visible. Now, visceral fat, on the other hand, is sometimes referred to as deep fat. It's the fat that is stored deep inside your body around your organs. And it's this visceral fat, as opposed to the subcutaneous fat under your skin, that is causing this protrusion of the abdomen. So if you've been working really hard, sticking to your eating plan, sticking to your fitness regime, and you're losing body fat, your stomach is getting flatter and flatter and flatter and flatter, but you still can't see your abs, it's because the fat you've been losing thus far has been visceral fat, not the subcutaneous fat that covers up your muscles. It's the deep fat around your organs that you've been losing. So your stomach is getting flatter and flatter, but you can't actually see your abdominal muscles yet because they're still covered by the subcutaneous fat. So just to be clear, you're losing the visceral fat first and you haven't started burning away at that subcutaneous fat yet. That comes later. So if you've been working hard, sticking to your fitness plan, sticking to your diet plan, and you've been losing body fat, which is great, and your stomach is getting flatter and flatter and flatter, which is also great, but you still can't see your abs, it's because the fat you've been losing so far has been the deep visceral fat, not the subcutaneous fat that's covering up your muscles. So now this raises the question, will you eventually lose that subcutaneous fat that's covering up your six-pack? And the answer is yes. All you've got to do is just stick at it and be patient. Just keep doing what you're doing, and once you've depleted the reserves of that visceral fat, then you'll start chewing away at the subcutaneous fat, and eventually your abdominals will start to show. Having said that, how your body stores and distributes body fat is largely down to genetics. For myself personally, I tend to store body fat around my abdomen, my upper thighs and my buttocks. And for some strange reason that I'm yet to figure out, I tend to store more body fat on the right side of my body than I do on the left. It's actually a thing. My right buttock is considerably larger than the left for this reason. I really don't know why. It's just a strange quirk of my body. Even on my abdomen, I don't have a visible six-pack yet, but they're starting to poke through. but they're clearly more visible on the left side than they are on the right. Now, some people, when they store body fat, they store it elsewhere. They may store it mainly on their legs or mainly on their back and not so much on the abdomen. And if that is the case, then they'll be able to achieve a six-pack at a much higher percentage of body fat than somebody like myself, who stores body fat mainly around the abdomen. It may mean that I won't have a visible six-pack until I get down to below 10% body fat. Whereas somebody who stores all their body fat on their legs, they could get a visible six-pack at a much higher body fat percentage, like say 15, 14, 13%. Now, that doesn't seem very fair, but that's how it is. It's unfortunate, but that's just the reality of the situation. Also, another thing I should point out is that usually where you store body fat first is where you lose it last. Again, so since I store most of my body fat initially on my abdomen, that is going to be the last place to go. But it will eventually go as long as I stick to the plan and keep doing what I'm doing. I'm certain of that. And if you're in the same situation, I'm certain that the same will happen for you. So that wraps it up for another Q&A. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up down below. Also, if you have your own question that you'd like me to answer in a video, please just pop it in a comment below and I will get around to doing that. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and also please feel free to share this video with anyone who you think may benefit from it. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.